Well, if you could ask God one question, what would it be? Kind of another deep one, but...
Yeah. Dealing with some pretty tough questions.
I'd say for the governments of the world not to be so screwed up. The age-old question, what is the mystery of life? What happens?
Okay, going after that, do you believe in heaven and hell?
I believe in something, I'm not quite sure.
Not quite sure?
More spiritual than religious, I guess I would say.
Okay.
Why is the world the way it is now? The wars, everybody's treating everybody like crap. Why let the devil take them, let Satan run the world for a while? Why is Satan do all this stuff, create all this confusion and other stuff?
Do you believe in heaven or hell?
Yes, I do.
Grant you one wish, what would it be?
Nothing but peace on earth. Peace and stop the salvation. Everybody starving out here, and more jobs, and just better earth.
Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
If God could grant you one wish, what would you wish for?
Go to heaven. To see my grandpa.
Okay. You kind of already answered this, but do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yep. Yes.
Do you know where you're going? Do you know where you're going to go?
Yep. I believe. Yes.
Yes.
I believe.
Cool.
If I were to ask him one question, I'm not too sure if the possibility exists in communicating to him personally, but assuming that he's here and I could communicate with him, my question to him is, I would ask him that, all I need from him is health and strength.
If you could get any wish from God you wanted, anything at all, what would you get?
I know this. I know this.
Anything from God you wanted, what would you get? Any wish you ever wanted?
Love.
Love?
That's all I want. And peace. My dreams to come true. Yep.
What's your name, sweetheart?
Jamisha. Alright, if you could ask God for one wish, what would it be?
To change?
Oh, for your phone not to be broken.
That was already broken.
To change everything I did wrong in peace. Because the world's too.
One wish.
Change all the mistakes and the bad things that I did in my life that I shouldn't have did.
I was wondering if you had one wish from God, any question, what would it be?
What's your names?
My name's CJ.
CJ?
My name's Corey.
Corey. Okay, CJ and Corey. Alright, CJ and Corey. So, do you believe that there's a God?
Yes. I believe in the Creator, but I don't believe in religion.
Okay.
Alright. Fair enough.
Okay. So, do you believe that there's a heaven and a hell?
You said, do I believe?
That there's a heaven and a hell.
Actually, I think so. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
How about you, Corey? Do you believe?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, if you could ask God for one wish, what would it be? You can ask for anything in the world. You can think about this for a second. Anything in the world.
No, I want.
What did you say? That you get in heaven? Alright.
That sucks. That's
more important. What you talking about?
That's weak. You don't have to ask. You can just do the procedures to get in there.
Well, how do you think you get into heaven?
What are the procedures?
What are the procedures?
Like redemption and go to church and
follow the commandments.
Commandments?
The little saying that they say.
Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah. Not that. But I think I would ask for the world to be like it was when Adam and Eve was here.
No.
Oh, Peter. All right, I like that.
But and no snakes and shit.
That's a good idea. I like that.
All right.
Whoa. You got any more?
One more question. What is your guys' life goal, to achieve?
I want to be a film director.
Film director? Nice.
I want to be a lawyer and one of these big ass buildings.
Equally?
No more starvation, no more wars, none of that, just peace. Like I said, love. God made us to love each other.
I agree.
I guess if I could ask God for one wish, I would probably be... That is a hard question. I have to think about that for a second. There's just one.
So many things that need to be done.
I think if Christians started actually acting like Christians,
Jesus come down and he's riding his horse, and he's going into battle and fighting all these demons and stuff like that. He says one word, we want to get on that same horse as Jesus and hold on to him. That was his one word. I thought that was so beautiful. Because he said he protects us. Yeah. He does everything for us. So he said, I want to I want to hold on to Jesus. Yeah.
Michael? Nice to meet you, Michael.
How you doing?
Okay, Michael, if you could ask God for one wish, what would that wish be? And you can think
Eternal
about that.
life.
Eternal life?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Eternal life in heaven?
Yes.
Okay, eternal life in heaven. So then do you believe that there's a hell also? Since there's a
Yes.
heaven? Okay.
Yes.
And how do you get to the hell or heaven?
You know, that's a good question. I really don't know. I think that all people are forgiven. They can believe in God. They can believe Jesus Christ. Through Jesus Christ, they can route to heaven.
All right.
I think everybody can be forgiven no matter what you do here on earth.
Very cool.
That's a good. Okay. Now, if you could ask God one question, what would you ask him?
What is he doing? Is everything going on? Where are you?
All right.
Good.
One wish, what would it be? To have love in my life. Okay. And then do you believe there's a heaven and a hell? Yeah. Okay. How do you get to heaven? By believing in God and praying to Him. Okay.
What's your ultimate life goal? Either one of you.
You go on with it.
This is all you.
I don't know, I guess to be successful at something.
If you could ask God for one wish, what would it be?
A happy life for my children.
Happy with your children?
And then do you believe that there's a heaven and a hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is there hell?
Why is there hell? Okay. If God could grant you one wish, what would it be?
Let my family go to heaven. All my family members go to heaven.
Okay. And do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yeah, I believe in heaven and hell.
Do you know where you're going?
Nope.
No?
I really don't know where I'm going at all.
Ask God, I'd ask God, I'm trying to think of how I'd phrase the question. Why did you create us? Why did you decide to have the experiment of human beings? Why didn't you just put us all in heaven? You know? But part of my mind thinks it's probably because he wanted a people that could choose to love him and not just, I don't know. But yeah, that'd be my question: is why'd you do an ant farm style? Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you create it in a way that some people could go to hell? Why would you allow that? Yeah.
I need to be able to see that my kids, 3 kids, turned out.
If I needed something or something, but I don't. So everything's fine with me, so I got no problems. But I'm a believer anyways, I know that.
Okay. Do you have a goal in life?
Oh yeah. To be happy every day.
And do you believe that there's a heaven and a hell?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Do you know how you could get to heaven?
I'm afraid the path for that started long, long ago. How to get there? Well, that would depend on a lot of factors.
Yeah. I think that to get to heaven, it can be any time. It's just a matter of people willing to accept God.
Well, there's heaven as in the sky. And heaven as
If you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Why?
Why what?
No, that's a question.
Good.
So what's your life goal? Just like
My life goal?
Yes.
To be happy.
Be happy. And how do you think you're going to go by achieving that?
By retiring.
spirit. Heaven as in paradise.
Yeah.
Which one will you refer to? Paradise.
If you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Ask God one question.
If I could ask God one question, what would it be? Do you two want to start?
If you could go on vacation anywhere, where would you go?
I'd probably ask him who shot JFK.
If you could ask for one wish from God, what would it be? More money. More money. If you could ask God one question, what would it be? What is the meaning of life?